Both men were contractors working in the area. They did not want to be identified. The man on the left in the pink shirt told CNN they heard one gunshot. Then, about 30 seconds later, a second shot. He says he saw Michael Brown staggering. Then he says Brown put his hands up and said, "Okay, okay, okay." The witness told us the cop didn't say get on the ground, he just kept shooting. That same witness described the gruesome scene, saying he saw Michael Brown's brains come out of his head, again reiterating his hands were up. Watch how he motions on the video. The video, these witnesses say, was taken shortly after the shooting ended. If you look closely, you can see a police officer in the distance beginning to put up crime scene tape. Both men told us by the time it was over, there were 3 officers on the scene, but only 1 involved in the shooting. Another voice is also heard on the tape. The contractor in the green shirt told me that voice belongs to a man he didn't know who pulled up alongside them, yelling this. That same contractor in green also told me that he saw Michael Brown running away from the police car. He said Brown put his hands up and that the officer was chasing him. He also said that Officer Wilson fired another shot at Brown while his back was turned. The contractor in the...
I'm going to show you that a 177 caliber pellet gun has got enough power to shoot a pig. So what I've got is it's dead on under the feeder. You got to have a absolutely solid rest with the pellet gun because you're shooting a tiny pellet into the brain.
And so since I could see that America itself is a society where there is no brotherhood, and that this society is controlled primarily by racists and segregationists, and it is, this is a society whose government doesn't hesitate to inflict the most brutal form of punishment and oppression upon dark-skinned people all over the world. To wit, right now, what's going on in and around Saigon and Hanoi and in the Congo and in elsewhere. They are violent when their interests are at stake. But with all of that violence that they display at the international level, when you and I want just a little bit of freedom, we're supposed to be nonviolent. They're violent. They're violent in Korea, they're violent in Germany, they're violent in the South Pacific, they're violent in Cuba, they're violent wherever they go. But when it comes time for you and me to protect ourselves against lynchers, they tell us to be nonviolent.
Take a look. Basically, in the induced coma. The little baby's supposed to undergo some additional surgery, but she's having some medical complications, so that's not going to happen for now. Just such a tragic story.
Joining me now, getting in a blind, and I'm getting in a blind with my bow and a Gamma Whisper pellet gun. It shoots a 177 caliber pellet, .177 rather, at 1,400 feet a second, and is a tack driver. I've been shooting it religiously. I got a Loophole VX2 air gun scope on it. The last test that I did was a pig skull with a piece of about 1/4-inch leather belt laying over the top. I shot right through the leather, right through the back of the skull with that pellet at 22 yards. Now all the pigs has got to do is cooperate and come in. I got the Gammo on my trigger stick. I can hold the crosshairs directly in the center of a kernel of corn. That's how steady I am with this gun. Come on, piggy, piggy, piggy. I got you a little surprise.
You see the Gammo pellet gun? I'm going to show you that a 177 caliber pellet gun has got enough power to shoot a pig. So what I've got is it's dead on under the feeder. You got to have a absolutely solid rest with the pellet gun because you're shooting a tiny pellet into the brain. I shot in at 22 yards. That's 17.5. But so what I can do now is I can raise it up because the legs extend different lengths, and it's over there out of the way. Big pig comes in, whoosh, grab the bow, whoosh. Little pig, cycle the pellet gun. No noise. Look at this. Bingo. Pop. Brain shot.
So we're sitting there and there we go, pigs, aha, here they come. Perfection. Little mix, little eaters, little Traeger pigs, that's what we call them. And I'm sitting in there and listen, here's the trick. You think when a pig's looking at you, that's a perfect shot because it appears because of the hair right here that it's flat, but it's not. When that head goes back down, that that head is like this. You got a solid plate to shoot into. Now, I'm sitting there, they're scurrying around. Uh-oh, Sparky in the middle. Oops, he's giving me the pose. He's like a robot. I got it on the sticks, elbow in the blind. I'm just locked like a seed tick, guys, like a sniper in a hide. It ain't even right. Thump the safety off on the Gamma. Now all he's got to do is get that head right, and I'm gonna shoot him in the brain.
Oh, I just about cracked him and he moved on me. Yeah, I'm gonna crack him when he faces us. You ready? Just give him a minute to get comfortable. He's wiggling his head. Once you get the forehead flat, you just gotta shoot. You got him.
Are you crazy? Not a wham, pow, no. Right in the brain, man.
I just funnel brained a little tasty one for the Traeger grill right under the feeder. I'm talking about crown shot him. 177 caliber pellet gun, and the other ones come running back in. You talk about quiet. He looked up at the blind, and when he put his head back down, I executed the pinch. I cracked him head. He is down. Pellet gun, final kicks. I'm gonna go get him, kick dirt over the blood, and we're gonna shoot another one. I'm gonna shoot the whole flock.